nonprofit organization that I work with. It's called MAARHCAC. It stands for Midland African American Roots Historical Cultural Arts Council. It's a mouthful. And they've been around for 26 years, I believe. It was founded by Robin Fuller, who is out of Midland, Texas. And it's a small community, small town, probably population 100,000. And the Black community there is quite small compared to other races. And so she really wanted to give an African American foundation that young ones could be able to stand for, ones can be able to look up to, such as things as like knowing things about Kwanzaa and a lot of African things that aren't taught, in school, and a lot of things that young Black children don't know about. And so she created this organization and used art in order to influence and inspire, but also tell the story of what African Americans do and, through their success and things that they have done. So we really wanted to reach out to young, inspiring African American individuals who are entrepreneurs, who are doing things, within the community, who are just have a different look on, or not even look, but just having a niche or a business that ones, other young ones may want to do, but they don't know how to do it, or they don't see anyone, that looks like us that does it.
So first of all, thank you for thinking of me for this interview. I always love to be able to talk to groups, young Black kids who, like you said, they don't see us, they don't know if it's possible, they don't know where to get the information. And I'm very much like a teacher. I love to put people on to things. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys. With that being said, my name is Joy. I am the owner of Petty Candle Co. I am originally from Kansas, of all places. I moved to Texas, I guess about 5 years ago. I've always kind of been in like the marketing, branding sort of arena of things. So, and I've always been an entrepreneur. My great-grandma was, both of my great-grandmas were, my grandmother was, so my mom always laughs at me because she's like, you got it honest, like you got the hustle honest. I'm like, well, it is what it is. So for me, wanting to build something of myself, for myself, bring other people on, my dream is to really grow and expand this and to be able to bring other people up with me. Like I'm very much for my people and educating my people in any way and putting them on. So to hear what you guys do, like that's awesome. That is really something that I aspire to do. The way that my company came about is I was addicted to Bath and Body Works candles. Like that was my jam. Every time they had a candle sale, I was buying the block of candles. Like literally had cabinets full of candles. But I'm also the type of person, I'm very much a researcher. I'm one of those people that will go down Wikipedia research rabbit holes. And one day, I don't know why, one day I was just like, what goes into these candles? Like, how do they make them? I didn't have a really particular reason for doing that. I'm just a random type of researching person. So as I kind of went down that research path and learned more about it, I was honestly kind of like, this is crazy. That there's a lot of, dangerous chemicals, people that complain about, oh, I get headaches from this scent, or it's too strong, it's sick. Like there's a reason for that. It's not just that the scent is strong. There are chemicals in that make people feel that way. And I never knew that. I just always assumed the scent is too strong, you're getting a headache, but there's a lot of things that go into that. So after, it's crazy.
And not to take you off topic, I mean, that's just a lot of things that, resonates when you say that a lot of people don't actually think about. So that's, things of consumption through food and things like that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. You don't know until just, like I said, on a random day, I just researched it, and I just, for hours and hours, I was reading upon what these different chemicals mean, what they do, what other things they're used in, what it can cause to your body. So, you know, there's certain carcinogens that are in these candles. They can cause infertility issues in men and women, and some of the wax, petroleum wax, and all the things that goes into all those things. So I was just thinking, I was just like, man, maybe I need to start making my own candles so that I can actually know like what I'm breathing in, what I'm consuming, what's in my house.
Sure.
That's really what kind of started me on that path, that I was just like, I love candles, but I'm not comfortable buying this particular brand anymore. So let me try to do it myself. So basically I just hopped on YouTube University and I found a few videos, and that's what really just kind of got this going. I was able to get into like a couple of Facebook communities and just learn from other people. There were a few other Black brands that were really doing the thing, and I was able to have one of them as my mentor, and he just really helped me to figure out the whole process. I mean, it was definitely a lot of work, but I was grateful that there were Black people kind of in that space that were willing to help. And, you know, an important thing for me was that I didn't want to make any products that I wasn't going to be comfortable having in my own house. Sure. So it's really important for me to have, you know, clean soy-based, vegetable-based wax, cotton wicks, no lead, nothing that you touch it, you're going to get cancer or something welts or anything crazy from.
Wow.
That was really the inspiration for that. And then just as far as some of the Petty Candle Co. I just very much have a kind of off sense of humor. And there's so many people making candles that I was like, well, you know, how can I make my brand stand out? So that's where that came from. Because originally it was not that. It was very, you know, luxe, clean, simple. But my very first Petty candle was Impeachment Peach. So I was clowning Donald Trump. And it became so popular and people loved that sense of humor that I was like, maybe I should just start making other candles in this lane and just use my natural sense of humor. And it just took off from there. You know, it's funny because I never once thought about making candles, and I just kind of happened to fall down that research rabbit hole, and I just did not feel comfortable burning those in my house anymore. But I did not want to have candles. But I've always wanted to own a business. Really, I'm honestly kind of using my candle business to fuel one of my other entrepreneurial dreams, which is to own a Black-owned beauty supply store. That's what's really near and dear to my heart, just because, you know, no shade to the majority of people that own them, but, you know, they're not us. They don't know about our hair. They don't know about the process. They don't care about those things that we do, you know. You know, when you go into a lot of those stores, they're not always the cleanest, they're cramped, you know, we don't get treated the best when we go into those stores either. For me, that's kind of my biggest dream, is that I want to basically, not to use, you know, overused word, but I want to have a safe place for my people to come and get these products that, you know, if they ask me, what does this do? You know, we're going to be knowledgeable about these products that you're using. You know, if you ask me if this is a good product, I'm going to tell you, no, you know, your hair type is so and so, this is what you need to try. So I wanted to be more of an all-encompassing thing for, you know, Black people that come into the beauty supply store that I own. I just have a whole vision that I just want to care for my Black people when they come into the store, top to the bottom. They know they're going to be treated well, and they know that people are going to be knowledgeable, not going to be following you around, you know, picking up, wondering what you're doing. So that is really the business that's near and dear to my heart. I love my candle business. It's so much fun, but that's my baby. That's my dream. I would definitely say it was probably my great grandma Aura. She passed when she was 106 years old. Wow. She was a hustler. Like that lady, always hustling, always making a way, always doing something for her people. So I was absolutely inspired. And the funny thing is, I didn't really, you know, Black families, we don't always tell everybody anything until people have passed. I'm like, why did y'all not tell me this before? Like, I would have loved to pick her brain about these things. Yeah. I learned so much more about her and her entrepreneurial spirit after she passed away. And that was just kind of the icing on the cake for me as well. So, you know, when my mom says, you know, you got it honest, I'm just like, man, like I really want to continue on that legacy of successful Black women in my family. And not because I necessarily have to, but because I want to. You know, a lot of our grandmothers and just our ancestors in general, you know, they had to hustle. They didn't have no choice.
Right.
So for me, you know, I want to be able to do it because I want to, and I want to be able to bring other people on, because like you said, Black people, we spend so much money in the beauty industry and clothing and just in everything. You know, we are the movement, we are the culture, like
right.
So for me, it's like, you know, I want to put people on and teach them. And I'm not saying I'm the guru. You know, there's so many things I have to learn myself. But
sure,
any little bit of knowledge that I have, I always love to share it. There's so many people that, you know, hop into my messages and just say, you know, well, how do you do this? What's this? What's this? And I'm just like, well, this is what I know. You know, if this is not enough information, you can go here. Here's video clips. Like, go do this, go do this. If you have any questions, come back to me. If I don't know, I'll try to help you. So that is very much my mentality when it comes to all these things. Is I want to be put out, and I want to put everybody on behind me. This is gonna sound like just so cliche, but really don't let anybody tell you no, or that's a stupid idea, or so and so is already doing that. Or, you know, I started a candle company, and there are so many freaking candle companies out here.
Yeah.
But mine was like, well, nobody's doing it like me, you know? So I don't care what y'all doing over there. I'm gonna do it my way. It doesn't matter. So it's almost like, you know, if you have an idea, said as cliche as it sounds, do not let anybody douse out the flames of that. I've had that happen in my own family. Like, there are things that I want to do, and people be like, you don't really want to do that. You know how much money that's going to cost to do this? Or I don't know about that. And, you know, over time, you do let that get to you. You try not to, but it does get to you. And you do kind of, that's where your dreams die. So for any young people, you know, if you have an idea, if there's something you want to try, just do it. Because at the end of the day, I say this there's one of my friends that she was always scared to like try something new or do something different. And I was like, you know what? Wouldn't you rather, you know, when you're deathbed, wouldn't you rather be like, man, I'm glad I tried it. I failed. At least I tried it.
Yeah.
Versus I wish I would have did that. So my biggest accomplishments, or what I was the most kind of proud and shocked about, was being featured in Cosmo and Glamour. I had no idea that, you know, no one reached out to me, no one said anything. It's just somebody happened to DM me and was like, oh, this is so cool, congratulations. And I was like, what you talking about? So I Googled it and I was like, wow, like the Cosmo one popped up. So then in the course of, you know, just continuing to scroll, I saw that I had also been featured in Glamour. So I was just like, this is crazy. So at that time, and I still do actually have an Etsy shop. So, you know, this is back in 2020 where people were really like featuring Black owned companies and businesses. So I think that's kind of what it was, that they were just looking for a unique Black candle company, and mine just happened to be picked. And it was just a very humbling and awesome experience. And, you know, parlaying that into what we were talking about, like this, how it's not easy, you know, and somebody on the outside looking in, they're like, dang, like she just started, she's getting featured in Cosmo and Glamour, like she got to go. But on the flip side of that, you know, 2020 was a big year for my company, but as we eased into 2021, some of that, let's highlight Black people, let's highlight Black businesses, died down significantly. So 2020 was a much slower year for me.
Sure.
I continue to still get a lot of support from my community, but as far as some of these bigger companies wanting to highlight things like that, that died down a lot in 2021. So, you know, that's things I'm talking about, where people, you know, you're seeing these things and, you know, like, how can I do that? How can I get that? But at the same time, you know, all that glitters is not gold. And I do appreciate that opportunity. It was great. It did, you know, for me to be able to put that on my marketing materials and say that, you know, my company was featured in that. It's great, but you know, there's always a downside. It's not always an up. There's going to be so many ebbs and flows in, you know, in any of these endeavors that people want to embark on. just because I do love, like I said, I want to put people on, I want to show them how they can do these things. And even if it doesn't have anything to do with candles, you know, I've had to learn different aspects about business. I went to school for business, so I have like an acronym. So even if people don't want to know about marketing or about candles, like, so for me, I really want to start putting out kind of like more educational content for people.
Sure.
I want to start putting out more videos of just teaching people whether you want to know how to make a candle or you want to know how to make some graphics for your company, or, you know, if you want to know how to write a press release. So for me, I really want to start putting out more knowledge for people and just to be able to help them in that way. And, you know, I'm somebody, I have a full-time job and I run this company, or, you know, I run my candle company on the side. So my hope is I would be able to, you know, quit that job and do all things full-time so that I can really put the type of content out in my head that to really help people and to engage. There are so many people who don't know where to start.
Right.
And if I could just give them one little stepping stone and then they can go and hop and skip and find whatever else is for them, that's really what I want to do moving forward. And along with, you know, putting out some fun new scents and wax smells and just different things that people, when it comes to kind of just like your whole aromatherapy, there's a lot of different things I've been looking at to, you know, keep it fresh and keep people, giving people something new and funny and fun that, you know, because my motto is, you know, your house can smell great, but it doesn't have to be the same old boring candle. You know, you can have a candle that smells great. When you look at it, it makes you laugh. Like, that's what's important. So trying to put out some new business, you know, ideas and stuff as well. That's kind of what my focus has been for 2022 and onward, really. Hey guys, this is Joy with Petty Candle Co. This is my MAARHCAC interview. I just want to encourage you guys to, when it comes to something that you want to do, just try it. Even if you fail, at least you tried. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.